What is going on, guys? Trading back to you today with another video. More Yu-Gi-Oh discussion, more Yu-Gi-Oh news. You know that's what I'm all about. Bringing you guys the latest shit. Today, part 5 of this mini video series that I've been covering on the Duelist pack, Ancient Millennium. And today's going to be a fun day because today we're going to be covering one of my favorite of all time characters in the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Not just Yu-Gi-Oh itself, but the very first Duel Monster series, and that is Pegasus himself, the chairman of Illusionist. I want to say, what is it? Dark Illusion Gaming or Illusion Games or fucking I don't know. But the owner of Duelist Island or Duelist Kingdom. Ding, ding, ding. Um, Industrial Illusions, that's what it was. He was and the owner of Duelist Kingdom, holding his tournament that he had. You know, he had a role in that Yu-Gi-Oh movie, helping Kaiba get the card that he needed to defeat. Fucking, I don't know. It's been forever since I've watched any of the Yu-Gi-Oh movies. He also had a part in the Different Dimensions movie, or not Different Dimensions, but the Bonds Beyond Time or whatever it was, where he was holding the tournament. Then he was trying to get killed by the one guy. You know, the one guy that everybody says bullshit. But he's gonna be getting some really cool stuff in this, and I want to pick up this pack just to get his cards in this because they look really, really cool. Some of their effects are really nice, and I might even splash them into some of the current builds that I have now. So getting right to it, getting into his reprints, he's getting a Relinquished reprint, and you know, of course, if you get Relinquished, you're going to have to get the Black Illusion Ritual just so you can summon him. And he's also going to get a Thousand Eyes Restrict reprint, and as well as oh, he's not. Just kidding. He's not going to get the Thousand Eyes Idol, which doesn't make any sense to me because if you're going to get Relinquished and you're going to get Thousand Eyes Restrict, why wouldn't you get Thousand Eyes Idol? But that's none of my business. Getting into the new cards, we're going to start off with Millennium Eyes Illusionist, which to me looks just like Dark Eyes Illusionist with a different art. But apparently it's a completely different monster because it's got a whole different effect. Millennium Eyes Illusionist is a dark spellcaster, level 2 effect monster with attack 0 and defense 1400 with description with effect reading. Quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one effect monster your opponent controls, equip that target to one Eyes Restrict fusion monster or relinquish you control, and if you do, it's treated as being equipped by that equipped monster's effect. If an Eyes Restrict fusion monster or relinquish a special summon, add this card from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Millennium Eyes Illusionist once per turn. So it's a hand trap for your Pegasus cards, for your Relinquished or your Thousand Eyes Restrict. It's pretty cool because you don't have to activate the effect. You can activate this card, and then you can activate the effect again, so you get 2 times the effects. So you can have 2 outs to any problem monster you have. So basically, it's like your kaiju for your Thousand Eyes monsters, your Eyes monsters, your Relinquished. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice support item for them. Moving on, we've got Magical Illusionist Faceless Magician, which was one of the screens in the opening Yu-Gi-Oh intro. I mean, basically, they just turned Illusionist Faceless Mage into Magical Illusionist Faceless Mage. So it's probably going to be the same thing, honestly. When it becomes a TCG card, the translation just might be off. But it's now an effect monster, and instead of being a normal, you know, you've got the nice effects. So Magical Illusionist Faceless Mage is a Dark Spellcaster level 5 monster. Attack 1200, defense 2200, with an effect reading if a face-up eyes strict fusion monster or relinquish you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one eyes restrict fusion monster or relinquished in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use each effective magical illusionist faceless mage once per turn. So it's your cycle card, and it's like your combos with the whole raw sphere mode, raw and immortal phoenix, to where you can have your Thousand Eyes restrict out, it gets destroyed. Not even destroyed, but just sent from the field to the graveyard. Say you use it for like a link summon or something. You can special summon this while it's either in your hand or your graveyard, so you can run it 3 of, and then you can bring it back out, you know. And then you link with this, and you can bring out your Eyes Restrict monster. So like, say you like use a instant fusion and bring out your Thousand Eyes Restrict, and then you link summon off of it. You can special summon this from your graveyard if you had already used it, or if it's in your hand, and then link summon again, bring your Thousand Eyes Restrict back, and it doesn't have that. It's destroyed at the end of the turn. So it could possibly be a problem, and this helps a lot with combos, kind of like the first card does. I like it a lot. Another nice support card for your Eyes Restrict monsters. Moving into the next one, we have Relinquished Fusion. Like I said in my previous video, I like that they're doing more and more fusion cards for attributes and archetypes and stuff. It's really cool. We have Relinquished Fusion as a quick play spell card with effect reading fusion summon one Eyes Restrict fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials from your hand, field, or graveyard during your main phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one effect monster your opponent controls. Equip that target to one Eyes Restrict fusion monster or relinquish you control, and if you do, it's treated as being equipped by the equipped monster's effect. You can only use each effect of relinquished fusion once per turn. So you fusion summon it with your materials in hand, field, or graveyard. That's fantastic. You know, you can have your destroyed monsters fusioned off into a new monster without even having to worry about owning them. And it's also got the equip that effect monster to your monster. So you can use your Millennium Illusionist effect and equip your opponent's monster to your monster once. You can use Relinquished Fusion to get another one, and then you can use your effect of that monster and bring back a third one. So you can use that effect 3 times, and it's nuts. If I'm reading into that correctly, because I'm not sure if I'm reading into it is treated as being equipped by the equipped monster's effect as the whole once per turn kind of thing with Thousand Eyes Restrict, or if you can do it 3 times because of the whole treated as being equipped by the equipped monster's effect. So that's something I want to have cleared up when this set comes out. But either way, it's still, you know, just another fusion card that's going to help be another splashable engine, I believe, just like Instant Fusion and Brilliant Fusion. but I could be wrong. So we'll see what happens with that one. And moving on to the final card, though, which is another reason why I want to pick up this set, just because this card looks so fucking cool, is Millennium Eyes Restrict. I want to say Thousand Eyes Restrict's older brother. Um, I mean, just look at that artwork, man. One of the coolest looking spellcaster monsters I've ever seen. It's just, I like dark stuff. And this kind of reminds me of like dark art type of stuff. So anyway, moving into it, Millennium Eyes Restrict is a dark spellcaster, level 1 monster with attack and defense 0. Fusion materials being relinquished and 1 effect monster. With effect reading once per turn. When an opponent's monster activates its effect, quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls in the or in the graveyard. Equip that target to this card. This card gains attack and defense equal to combined attack and defense of the monsters equipped to it by this effect. Monsters with the same name as a monster equipped to this card's by this card's effect cannot attack, also negate their effects. I've watched other people's videos talking about this card, and they're trying to put some trash bullshit on this card, but on YGO Pro, I've gone up against this, and it's crazy because my opponent gets this out, and most of the decks that I play are every deck that everybody plays. I guarantee there's an effect monster that helps them get their combo off. So you first turn this, you instant fusion, or you relinquish fusion, or you do anything. You just you you negate that, you absorb this, and they can't do it again with a different monster having the same effect. And this card can have more than 1 material as opposed to Thousand Eyes Restrict that can only have 1. Um, I believe. Yeah, I think it's only 1. So this card can get pretty beefy, as well as negating effects, negating attacks. So if your opponent only runs a certain amount of monsters and you take all of those monsters, they can't attack, they can't activate effects. You know, it's crazy. And with this being an instant fusion target, you don't even need to run it in um, an Eyes Restrict deck, I would call it, or a Pegasus deck. This could just be another instant fusion target. So mainly for Link Rebo, but I would also run this just because it looks cool. I mean, for instant fusion, yes, Thousand Eyes Restrict is a lot more resourceful because you can activate its effect after you summon it, take one of your opponent's monsters, and then link off with your Relinquish to get your Link Rebo or whatever link you're going into and destroy your opponent's monster. As opposed to with Millennium Eyes Restricts, you have to wait for your opponent's monster to activate their effect, unless they activate their effect after this card is summoned. So you never know. This could be a viable card, but I just want it because it looks freaking awesome, and I might use it instead of Thousand Eyes Restrict. Who knows? But all of these Pegasus cards are gorgeous. The artwork on them is insane. Props to the artist, whoever did them. And I want to see where these cards go. I know a Pegasus deck isn't going to be any competitive by any means, but these cards would just be fun for like a casual deck or a locals possibly, you know. And I this and Bandit Keys cards and Jesse's cards, the only reason I'm going to pick up the set because I want to try and get these cards just for my collection. You know, I think some of these cards just look cool, so I'm not going to be trying to use them as my competition cards. I just want them for my collection. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Show your boys some support. If you have any opinions on today's topic or any future ideas you have for me, go ahead and leave them all in the comments below. And if you enjoy my content, be sure to hit that subscribe button to check out my weekly content on this card game we enjoy. That'll be it for me. I'll catch you guys next time.